Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the Mezco 112 Collective Batman Sovereign Knight Onyx Edition. And this figure was a Mezco site exclusive, and when they put it up for pre-order, it was a big old fiasco. The website crashed, a bunch of people were not able to get it, myself included. Both me and my wife were on there trying to secure one with no success. So I went ahead and put my name on the wait list, and then next thing you know, the wait list converted and it shipped out. And to be honest, I mean, when I first saw the in-hand pictures of this figure, I was okay with the fact that I missed it, and I kind of forgot that I was on the wait list. But then next thing you know, I got an email saying that the wait list was converting and it sold. So here we are with the figure, and I am excited to take a look at it. So let's get into it, starting with the packaging. First off, we have this very plain looking box that has the Batman logo here in the center. It's very reminiscent of the movie poster from the '89 Batman, so that's very cool. And it's very shiny and reflective, as you could see. I'm right there in the background there. But yeah, it's a nice looking box, very plain and everything. And then here on the top corner, you have the Mezco exclusive sticker. On the side, you have that same bat logo. On the back, you get some pretty cool artwork with the figure. And on this side, you have the logo again. So that's pretty much it. And I really like the exclusive boxes that Mezco uses. They're very small and they're a lot easier to store than the standard release boxes. Okay, so now here he is out of the box. And like I mentioned before, when I saw the first couple of in-hand images and the first couple of reviews that were floating around, I really was not impressed by this figure. And I was perfectly fine passing on it. I didn't think that it looked very good. I thought that it looked a little too shiny. I thought that the paneling effect and the cloth kind of clashed with each other, and I just wasn't feeling it based on the pictures and the videos that I saw. But then once I had it in hand and I opened them up, I realized that I was completely wrong, because this figure is badass. He's so much fun to mess around and play with. He looks very, very cool. I don't know what it was, but yeah, just in pictures and things like that, all this stuff just didn't work for me. But now that I have it, I like it a lot, actually, to be honest with you. It's probably one of my favorite Mezco Batman figures. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite, but it's in the top 3 probably. But yeah, look at him. He's a really cool looking figure. And one thing that I like about the way that they chose to do this paneling and stuff, you know, I've complained about this overlay type of material that they used before because I'm always concerned with it cracking. But because there's so much going on here, like a bunch of splits and stuff like that, you know, if you end up with some cracking on him, you might not even notice, you know. So that's a good thing, because it kind of makes it so you could play with them without worrying about damaging it. And if you do damage it, it's gonna kind of just be whatever. It's just gonna fit in with the busyness, or not fit in, but it's gonna get lost within what's going on here. So I know that sounds like a weird thing to be happy about, but I mean, that makes it so I can enjoy the figure. I've been messing around with it a lot, no fear of it getting cracked or anything. I did see some creases right in here, but then I wasn't sure if it was those creases were because I was messing with it, or because, I mean, they were just there. So, you know, that's a good feeling, I'd say. Unlike Spider-Man, where he looks all clean and nice, you know, and then if you would see a crack or something, it'd be noticeable. That's not going to be the case here with Batman. So anyway, sorry to babble on like that, but let's get into it here. So you do have that overlay stuff that kind of has like a shiny type of look to it, and you could definitely see some cloth between the little pieces here. Same thing with his arms. You have some cloth right in here. Actually, that's not cloth, sorry. But right in here you have some cloth, and then in here it's more of that overlay. And then of course you have the bat logo that's yellow. And I've seen a lot of people with crooked bat logos. I don't feel like mine is crooked. I don't know, I guess it could be. I don't know, maybe it's just the way that I have them posed. But yeah, I think it looks fine. And then down here you have the golden belt that looks really good. And it does float around, so you don't have to worry about it being in the way of the articulation. And yeah, just check all that out there. You have some more like cloth with overlay kind of just all throughout it. And like I said, it does look busy, you know, but I don't know, it works. It works for me. And this figure doesn't really seem like, I mean, in person, the figure isn't as shiny as I was led to believe based on the pictures that I saw. And I do like that the sculpted parts kind of blend in with the style of the cloth parts. Like, it has paneling type of look, more so on the boots, as you could see. A little bit on the gloves, but on the helmet as well, or on his mask, you can see it kind of looks like it's panels. This head is the one that's on him inside the box, and you have the long bat ears. You have the nice looking facial expression, the white eyes. It's a really nice looking head sculpt. But yeah, check him out. He's a good looking figure. The cape looks nice. I've heard some people say that the cape is cheap, but I completely disagree. I think it feels nice. It has a high quality look to it. It drapes over his shoulders naturally. You could do that kind of thing. It looks good. Or you can have it like all the way over him like this. It looks good too. Just gotta mess with it a little bit. There we go. I think that looks great. And yeah, very little flaws with this figure. I do have a couple of small quality control issues. For some reason, the joint on this wrist is a little bit split. It's not a big deal. It's not affecting how the joint works at all, but it just catches my eye every little bit when I'm messing with it. Not a huge deal at all. And then on this side, the joint was actually in there reversed. So the peg that sticks into the arm is a lot bigger than this peg. So it kind of made this hand loose because this was twisted around. I mean, this was spun around. So this part was plugged into the arm, and the peg that's usually plugged into the arm was plugged into the hand. So it kind of made the fist a little loose, but you know, it's not a big deal. I just kind of squeeze it down and then it's able to fit on there without like flopping around, so that's good. And on the back of the figure, the same kind of thing. We have a bunch of this overlay stuff with some spaces where you could see the cloth, and it kind of comes off as paneling, so I think that's nice. The belt is able to hold his grappling gun that he comes with. We'll take a look at that in a minute here. And one thing I wanted to say about the arms, which I like a lot, is that the spikes on the forearm are very soft, so you don't have to worry about them snapping or anything. I really like that. I wish that was the case with Batman Beyond, because I'm always afraid I'm going to break that thing, as much as I love that figure. But yeah, I think it would have been wise of them to do it this style. But yeah, anyways, for the most part, I think the figure looks really nice. Okay, now for the accessories. Like most Mezco figures, he comes with a bunch of cool stuff, including multiple sets of hands. So first off, we have a pair of fists. And next up, we have a set of partially open hands that you could probably use to get him into some like martial arts type of poses. And then he does come with 3 different sets of gripping hands. This is the first pair, and I'm not really sure what these are supposed to grip onto, because they're kind of like a traditional regular gripping hand that can maybe be used to hold onto a sword or something, but he doesn't come with any type of swords or weapons like that. So I'm not really sure what these hands are meant for, because there's other hands for gripping the things that he comes with. And then he does come with 2 trigger finger type of hands that could be used to hold on to his grappling gun and his sonar gun. And then he has a set of hands that have a tighter grip, and these hands could be used to hold on to his batarangs. And then last but not least, for the hands, we have a hand that has like a kryptonite brass knuckle situation, but we only have one of those, and it's for his right side. Okay, let's take a closer look at the accessories, starting off with the grappling gun. This thing is very nice. I like the sculpting work on it. I like the colors because it matches the figure, and it has like a futuristic type of look to it, which I like. And of course, Batman is able to store it in his belt here, and it just slides in just like that. There you go. So that is nice. And it also comes with a couple of grappling hooks that you could stick into the barrel. So starting off with this one here, you just stick it right into the barrel, and it's nice and tight in there. You don't have to worry about it falling out. And I think that looks really cool. But it also comes with another hook that has like a string on it, which I feel like it's a nice idea, and it's cool that they include it, but it doesn't really work for anything. For me, I only ever use these when it's time to review these figures. Otherwise, they just kind of stay in the box. But you are able to stick like the little peg at the end of the string into the barrel, and there you go. But this is not going to hold up Batman or anything like that, so it just kind of looks weird to me, but it is nice that they include it for people that like that thing. And then next up, you have the sonar type of gun, and this thing is really cool looking. I like the satellite that has that little honeycomb grid effect going on there, very similar to what's on his logo, and I like the details on this. Again, you have some gold and black in there, so it matches the figure. On this side of the gun, you do have a hole, and I'm not entirely sure why. The only thing I could figure is that you're able to pull this off, stick this in there, and then you could have him like lay this down so it's pointing up like that. If anyone out there has any better idea as to why there's a hole in the side of this gun, please let me know. I dug through the box looking for anything else that you might stick in there, and I looked on the belt for the figure, and there's nowhere really to peg that thing into, so I'm not too sure what's up with that. But I mean, if it's for so that you could do this, I mean, that's kind of cool, you know. Could have it like sitting on the ledge while he's doing his thing, while he's looking. But yeah, overall, this is a really cool looking gun. I like this thing a lot. And then you have the batarangs. And first off, you have this one here, which is gold and black. It matches the figure. It's very cool, very nicely done. A lot of nice sculpted details in there. And then you have these ones here. And these little silver ones are cool, but it comes with 10 of these. So that's cool. You could stick a bunch of them into his hand, and then you don't have to worry about losing them, because you'll have some extras, much like the glasses for Blade or the the pipes for Popeye. And then last but not least, he has his bat drone, and this thing is really cool. This is something that I actually was kind of sad that I missed out on when I thought I wasn't going to get this figure, because this thing is really cool. And I love the sculpted details on it. You have the fans here on the wings, and you have the gold and black again that is matching the figure. You have the face that looks like a bat, and I like how the body, I guess you could say, is kind of arched over like a bat, you know? Or I don't know if that's like a bat, but it does look kind of weird, you know? It has like a maybe like an insect type of vibe to it. But yeah, I like this thing a lot, and I love that the wings are articulated, so you could swing them around however you see fit. They have little ball joints in there, so yeah, that's cool, man. This is a really nice accessory. Okay, so now it's time for the different head sculpts, because he does come with 4 different heads, and all of them are very cool. So this is the first one, and we've already looked at it, but it's the one that's on him inside the box. So very quickly, he has the long ears, and you have the paneling effect, and it's very shiny. As you can see, the light is bouncing right off of that. And when you have him looking straight forward, it's almost hard to see his eyes. But yeah, this face sculpt is nice, and I do like the way that the mouth looks, and the skin tone looks great too. And then next up we have another masked head, but with shorter ears, and I think that looks nice too. It definitely has a Dark Knight Returns type of vibe to it. Looks a little tougher and meaner. And again, you have the same type of line effects on the head there that match the rest of the suit, so that's good. And it is very reflective, just like the other one. And the facial expression is a little bit different. As you can see, he's showing some teeth, and I think that looks cool too. This one kind of looks a little meaner. So it looks very nice. And then next up we have the unmasked Bruce Wayne head, and I think this looks good. It's the same head that we saw with the Ascending Night Batman. It just has slightly different paint, but the sculpt is the same. As you could see here, same facial expression, all that good stuff. There's just, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but there's slightly more of a 5 o'clock shadow on this new one, but it's very, very slight. And there's some paint details on the hair that's a little bit different, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same head. You can see that I guess the eyes look the same. I guess the eyes on the newer one are a little bit brighter blue. But yeah, both of these head sculpts work for Bruce Wayne, so I'm fine with them just kind of repacking this in there. It would have been cool to get a Bruce Wayne head with a different expression, you know, since they're throwing multiple heads in here. But I do like the fact that we have a bunch of Bruce Wayne heads. And then last but not least, we have a battle damaged head. And this is by far my favorite out of all the heads. And this thing is just awesome. Check that out. Look at his eye. It looks like he's going through some pain. And then you have some blood on the mouth there. And I really like how there's silver under the black. It's kind of hard to see because all the glare and stuff. But yeah, there's silver under the black. So it's like an armored helmet mask type of thing. So that is really, really dope. But I just love how the eye just looks red and in pain, man. That's really, really cool. And then, of course, you have the standard Mezco stand. It looks very nice. It's pretty much the same design that's on the box. I think it would have been cool if this was yellow. That way it would have matched the logo on his chest, because as it is now, the box is gold and black, the figure is gold and black, the weapons are gold and black. I think it would have been cool if this was yellow and black. It would have kind of brought it all together. But as it is, it looks fine. You're able to stand the figure there, or you could take the peg out and use the articulated posing arm. But yeah, this is a cool stand. Finally, we have the cape posing wires. And I'll be honest with you, I hate this whole setup. I think it's ridiculous. It's tedious. It's annoying to put together. You have to plug the ends of these into this, plug this onto the stand, and then stick the cape into these things. It's just crazy. It's just so many things to get these onto the figure. And then once it's on the figure, it's kind of a hassle to mess around with. You can get some cool poses out of it for sure, but yeah, I just don't like this whole setup at all. I really wish they'd come up with something better. And I can't believe they've been using these pretty much all this time with like zero improvements. You know, they're pretty much the same thing that came with the first Mezco 112 collective figure, which was the Dark Knight Returns Batman. But yeah, just kind of ridiculous, and hopefully they come up with something new, but I really doubt they will at this point. Okay, so now for some size comparisons. Starting off, I have him here with the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man and the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap. And next up, we have him with the Mezco 112 Collective Superman and the Mezco 112 Collective Deathstroke. And then now here we have him with the Mezco 112 Collective Comic-Con exclusive Tactical Suit Punisher and the Mezco 112 Collective Blade. Next up, we have him with the Mezco 112 Collective Dark Knight Returns Batman and the Mezco 112 Collective Deluxe Joker. And now here we have him with the DC Icon Superman and the Sentinel Armorized Armor Iron Man. And to finish off these size comparisons, here he is with the Mezco 112 Collective Comic-Con exclusive Batman Beyond and the Mezco side exclusive Ascending Night Batman. And the articulation on this figure is pretty good. It's basically what you'd expect from a Mezco Batman figure. If you have any of the Mezco Batman figures, you know exactly what you're getting into as far as articulation goes. There's pretty much nothing new here. So let's get into it. His head is able to move side to side. Then you have some nice tilt to it. So you could get some pretty expressive poses out of that. And you could get him looking up only to about right there. So it's not great looking up, but going down is pretty good. So check that out. And then for the torso, it's really restricted. I was surprised by how limited the torso range is because Mezco has been really improving on that lately, but that's just not the case here. That's pretty much all you're going to get him to bend, so not very much. Let's see, going back here. You can get him leaning back a decent amount, and he does have the standard Mezco torso setup with the cut in the mid-torso and then the waist joint, and you know, that using both of those, you're just not going to get much crunch forward. But you do have some side to side, which is pretty good, and a little bit of twist. So for me, as long as I could get some movement out of the torso, I'm pretty happy for the most part, but I do wish he was able to crunch a little bit more. And then for the arms, let's see what we have going on here. You do have the butterfly type of joint, so that's very cool. And then you could get his arms up to, I'm just going to go up to right there. I don't want to push it anymore, but I think that's pretty good. And going back, not quite as far, but you know, it's enough. And then you could bring his arms out to the side. Then you have the upper bicep swivel that's in there. Double jointed elbows, which are a little restricted because of the wrist guards, I guess you could call them, or like the forearms. That's about as far as you're going to get on the elbows, but they are double jointed. Let's see what this one could do. So that's about it there. You know, not horrible. You could definitely get him into some cool punching poses. So I mean, even though it's not the best articulation in the arms, you could definitely get him into some nice punching poses. So I'm happy with the arms for the most part. There we go. Looks kind of cool there. And then for the legs, you could get them out to the side. You could get them to do like a high kick. That's good. You could get them going back to about right there. Sorry if the cape's kind of making it hard to see, but let's get, there we go. You can get his leg forward to about right there. And then you have the upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knees, which are pretty nice there. Let's see if you have any movement at the boot. No, not really. But you do have a swivel at the foot, and then you get some rotating around. You could get it going forward to about right there, come up to right there, get some nice rocking. So like I said, the articulation is pretty good on him. I just wish the torso could move a little bit more, but I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really bug me too much because for the most part, you could get him into some pretty dope poses. Let's see here. There was a pose I had him in earlier today that I liked a lot. So let's see if we can get him back into it. It's just basically a punching pose. There we go. I think that looks pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, articulation's decent on him. Could be a little bit better, but I'm fine with it. Okay, so overall, I like this figure a lot. I'm very happy to see that my initial opinion about this figure was completely wrong, and Mezco actually did a really amazing job here. This figure's a lot of fun. He's a bunch of fun to pose and play with. I like all the accessories that he comes with, especially this fist with the kryptonite knuckles on it and the battle damaged head, and then the bat drone is really cool too. I don't think that's something we've really seen with a 6-inch Batman figure. There might have been a couple out there that included one, but none that I own, so I'm very happy to have that. But yeah, overall, this figure is just amazing. And some of the problems that I thought I was going to have with it just went out the window as soon as I had it in hand. I really thought that, well, first off, the thing that I really didn't like from pictures that I saw early on was how shiny it was, but it just really doesn't look as shiny in hand, so maybe just some of those pictures really didn't do the figure justice. And the other thing was I thought I wasn't gonna like the panel pattern that he has going on, or the pattern of the overlay stuff, I should say, but it just works for me. I think that it's really cool, and just the fact that it's kind of broken up and split up already just makes me really comfortable messing around with it, because he's like I said, he's a lot of fun to pose and mess around with. So I'm kind of relieved that I don't have to worry about damaging it, because like I said, even if it does get damaged, I probably won't even notice it because of how busy the pattern is. So like I said, that's probably a goofy thing to say like in a positive light, but for me it just works, and I'm very happy to have this figure. And again, I'm happy to see that I was wrong. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and thank you very much. Peace.